So here we are, 13th of December. This is the start of my little video diary of the garden. So obviously we're coming into winter now, but the weather is still stupid for this time of the year. So let's have a look at what we've got. We've got a very muddy lawn, so I've got to do that. Basically, I've had 2 summers at this garden, but there's still quite a lot to do. So, this section over here, Montbretia, which is clumped up, the bulbs have formed one above the other, and you can see that it's too shallow, so the plants tip over. So I'm going to be digging those down deeper, maybe redistribute them a bit, spread them out so that they're not too clumpy, and I'll be doing that with those. There's some just in there, and over the left here there are some in there. Everything just looks such a mess with all the fallen leaves. I did quite a lot here. It's all been cleared this year. That was just a dense clump of conifers. There's the former gardener, my dad. Some flowers on there for his birthday. So, let's get into this. In there, there's a wisteria, which I've cut back, but I might train it along the fence rather than the ivy. A lot of the ivy I've cleared, but it still just forms a green wall behind the plants. You can't really see the definition of the shrubs and trees because everything just blends in together, so I'll keep on clearing that ivy. But the wisteria is nice. The main wisteria grows along the front of the house there above the double doors. I've been cutting that back a little bit, but that will stay there. That's nice. This is one of my main opportunities for planting new stuff, as I've pretty well cleared that out now. So middle of December, there's the bluebells up. They just come up earlier and earlier every year. So what should be quite a clear piece of earth it just looks as if it's full of weeds, but it's just bluebells which will flower in the spring. This little corner down here it's a lot better than it used to be, because that lot has been cut back. All the overhanging trees I've cut back to allow rain to get to the earth, and now I can grow dahlias there. That's a fig tree. Again, that's been cut back to allow a bit of more rain to hit down there. And we come up to the main part of the garden. Now there, we've got red hot pokers, and here, a scrubby little hydrangea, and some plant that I don't know the name of. And what I'm basically going to be doing is redistributing the existing plants. So there we are, right in my dahlia growing area, a red hot poker. So that is going to be dug up, split in two, and put either side of the path down there to make some sort of symmetry with the red hot pokers over there. So that will be one of my little projects. I can't even imagine how I'm going to dig that thing up. Up here is the area where I had my dahlia farm this year. So there's still some dahlias to be dug up and put away for the winter. And down here are my dahlia cuttings, which I put in too late. I don't really think that there's going to be any tubers under there, but I will dig them up anyway. As we come up here, we've got a nice little laurel sitting there in the middle of nowhere. This is what my dad used to do. If something started to grow, he'd trim it back, but he'd let anything grow anywhere, so it's all a little bit of chaos. But now, having cut back quite a lot, we've got this flower bed, which when I was a kid was quite busy, but these laurels had grown right over the top. They've stopped the sun, they've stopped the water, the rain I mean, and this bit has slowly been dying, but next year's project will be to get this going again. And that laurel there will just disappear. This lot here, that will be cleared of the old dahlias. They'll go into winter storage. And then my trimmings and prunings from this year, which is that great big pile there, will be sorted out. There's a lot of branches and twigs in there that we should go through the shredder. But the leaves, anything soft, will go onto there. And I've got a rotavator to plough it all in, along with the products of the shredder, which is this big pile of sawdust stuff. That will go in there, because what I've got here is quite a heavy clayey London soil, which gets waterlogged. There's collections of stones. There goes a parrot. That's just out of focus. I'm going to dig a deep hole down there and drop a load of stones down it, try to help the drainage. That's the corner, no-go corner. I'm going to have to clear that lot up. There's a lot of bricks, slabs, some of which I'll use. My dad's old compost bins, which are not quite big enough to put that lot in. Coming back down here, one of the things is it's a mature garden. It's been used in this section where I've got had my dahlias. My dad had that as a vegetable patch, and you can see the soil has risen year on year. So it's threatening to form a landslide across this central path. I'm tempted to put in a small retaining wall, but one of the things I don't want to do is get rid of too much of my dad's stuff, and he'd been making this little hedge. So I won't be putting a wall in, because I won't be getting rid of that little hedge. This scrubby bit down here will go. This little tree will go. That's a tree next to a tree. Just doesn't work for me. Over there, I probably will get rid of that tree as well. That's standing right in the middle. But generally all the other shrubs, bushes and small trees and things, they'll stay. I mean, that there, it's like a piece of hedge in the middle of nowhere, but it does look quite nice when it's pruned back, when it's shaped up in the summer. But what I will do is clear a central planting area, so that and that become my testing grounds for all the dahlias that I'm going to grow, all the unknown tubers that I've got, and the seeds that I've taken, because I'm going to try growing some new varieties. But when that lot there is rotavated and becomes more diggable, I'm going to be chucking a lot of the volume of that over to there, so that part will become a bit more raised. And this problem I've got with that shoulder of earth there, that'll get levelled off, not too much, but it'll go in the right direction. All the dahlias that I do know, I've sorted them into colours. So for example in there I'll probably have whites, On this bank here, purples. Out the front I'll have reds because I've already got red roses. And the gaps that you see along there, I'll just have a variety. And there I'll be populating that with more conifers and herb type plants, heathers, things like that. Now that path up there, that really needs doing. There's just too many plants. Down here you can see big clumps of Montbretia. It's already started to sprout, so that's already beginning to grow for next year, but I'm going to have to catch that before it goes, because again that's formed great big clumps. It's just completely congested. They've got no depth, they've got no support, and as soon as they grow up they fall over and they just make a mat of green mess. So with those I'll either be redistributing them around the garden, burning them, burying them, giving them away. I don't know, but there's just tons of them. And that's about it at the moment. This part here, you see my dad's boat up there. This part here, I'll keep putting more plants into that, but generally that's going to be conifers, heathers, those sort of things. I'm going to have to paint the garage, which means that whatever it's called, wisteria, that will come down. But it'll be laid on the ground and it'll go back up again. This part here, more Montbretia. There's a couple of plants in there that I'll remove because it's just too busy, too congested. And that, in the middle of December 2014, is roughly what I'm going to be doing with the garden in the coming year.